Hi, sister. It's been 3 years, right? I went to our old house and some complete strangers were living there. That means that you've moved, right? Could you tell me where the three of you are right now? You still live with mom and dad, don't you? Because knowing you, you're still single. Huh? Is this Flavia? You've got some nerve just asking me something like that after all these years. Huh? I get the feeling that you're not happy to see me for some reason. Of course I'm not happy to see you. What in the world made you think that I would be happy to see you? What? Why? I mean, I am your sister, after all. I know we had some disagreements in the past, but isn't family always supposed to be there for each other? Not when that family is you. I mean, it's only been 3 years since you stole my fiancé Leonardo from me. You haven't contacted me ever since the two of you just disappeared. What makes you think that you can just greet me like an old friend? But I'm already broken up with Leonardo, so none of that matters anymore, doesn't it? Come on, Rosina. The past is the past. Huh? You broke up with him, but I remember how you told me that he was the perfect guy for you and you've been waiting for someone like him all your life. Yeah, I only felt like that while he was still your boyfriend or fiancé or whatever. I mean, I realized soon after that I ran away with him that there was a limit to relationships like that. Running away means that you have to throw away everything from your past life, right? Which means that Leonardo had to quit his job at the mega company he used to work at. It was such a shame because he did actually earn quite a lot of money, which is one of the main reasons I stole him from you in the first place. I realized that after running away, Leonardo was just some unemployed man. I should have thought of it sooner. We found it difficult to find jobs in the new town we moved to, and once we did find a job, it was at a tiny company that only gave us an average salary. The two of us didn't have any money, and for obvious reasons, we found it difficult to return to our hometown. That went on for about a year, and by then the love between us was just gone, and we were kind of just living together because we had to. That in turn went on until the 3rd year, but I finally decided to break up with him recently, and now I'm free. I see. And so you thought you could just return to our house? Don't you think that's a bit too convenient for you? Just because you broke up with him doesn't change the fact that you stole him from me 3 years ago, you know. What? That's called holding a grudge, Rosina. I mean, I'm sure Mom and Dad at least will be happy to see that their daughter has returned after 3 years. But they said that they didn't want a child that would steal her sister's fiancé from her. They don't want to have anything to do with you more than I do. Huh? That's so mean of them, but I'm their cute little daughter. Nothing about you is cute, Flavia. And besides, you're the one who was mean to me by stealing my fiancé, Flavia. You said that you went to our old house, but one of the reasons that we moved was so that we could officially cut ties with you and so you would never be able to find us again. Jesus, Rosina, I already apologized for stealing Leonardo from you, didn't I? It couldn't have been helped, since at the time I really did love him, you know? Come on, just tell me your new address so we can live together as sisters again. Don't you think that would be fun? I already told you we moved so that you wouldn't be able to find us anymore. We don't want to have anything to do with you. There's no way I'm telling you our new address, because living with you again would be the opposite of what I consider fun. If that's the case, then why am I able to text you like this? If you guys really did cut ties with me, then shouldn't you have blocked my account and changed your phone number? Yep, you're right. The only reason I hadn't blocked you until now is because we hadn't officially told you yet that we were cutting ties with you. But I guess I already did that, so I'm going to block you now. Thanks for reminding me. A what? I was waiting for this day to come, you know. Now we can officially cut ties with you. Goodbye. Hold on. I haven't even gotten to my main point yet. There's something really important I want to ask you. Bye. Sister? I changed my WhatsApp ID so I could be able to contact you, and there's something I need to tell you. What? Is this Flavia? Yep. Seriously, Rosina, you're so mean blocking your cute little sister like that. But there were so many questions I wanted to ask you after that. I already told you that we cut ties with you, right? I don't care about whatever it is you want to tell me. Are you sure about that? It doesn't matter whether you changed your WhatsApp ID or not. The fact that we cut ties with you hasn't changed. I'm going to block you again. Hold on, I wouldn't do that if I were you, because I know where you live now. What? How did you... Wow, I'm impressed, Rosina. You're living in such a nice location. As your apology for blocking me, you're going to let me live in that penthouse of yours from now on. What in the world are you talking about? To be honest, it's going to be a real bother if you really did find out where I live. But I'm not going to let you live here. Why not? Because I'm not the owner of this apartment. My boyfriend is. You're so clueless as usual, Rosina. What I'm trying to tell you is, I stole your boyfriend again, so I'm going to be living with him in that high-rise condo of yours from now on. You seriously don't get that? What? Oh, that reminds me. Leonardo wants to get back together with you, apparently. I give you Leonardo in return for your current boyfriend, so why don't we just get along as sisters from now on? That's a fair trade, don't you think? This solves everything. I'm so glad everything turned out well in the end. There is no way I'm getting back together with Leonardo. Even if he did appear before me for some reason, then I'm going to hand him straight to his parents who paid the alimony I asked of him for him. Oh my God, you're such a scary woman, Rosina. But he really did regret leaving you in the first place and sincerely wanted to get back together with you. He told me to tell you that he was sorry for what he did. No, thanks. I'm not willing to give someone like that a second chance. Our marriage being canceled was his fault as much as it was yours. Besides, my current boyfriend is someone who knows everything about my past and still accepted me despite that. There's no way he would betray me and go out with you, the source of all my problems, instead. Is that so? Then that must mean that I'm so attractive he wants me for his girlfriend instead, despite knowing everything about our past. I'm sorry for stealing your boyfriend again, Rosina. Don't get mad, all right? I'm such an evil woman. But my boyfriend is currently sitting next to me. Huh? He says that he doesn't know anyone like you. He's neither met you or exchanged contact information with you ever before, he says. How did you have a relationship with him then? What? Rosina, stop lying because it's so obvious that you are. Your face is enough of a joke as it is, so just stop it. All right, then how do you know that I'm lying? I mean, I'm with your boyfriend right now, so I know that he isn't sitting next to you, as you say. Are you sure that's not someone else? Someone you thought was my boyfriend and stole from me? No way. All right, then tell me his name if you're so sure. What? Are you an idiot, Rosina? He's your boyfriend. Why do you need me to say his name for you? You're the one who's going to call me an idiot when you haven't even noticed that we're not going to get anywhere until you tell me his name? I'm trying to make sure that you have the wrong person here. You're the only one who thinks that's happening, so don't worry. Just tell me his name already. Based on your answer, I might leave this high-rise condo by tomorrow. What? You'll leave if I tell you his name? Only if he's really the person I'm currently living with. You see? His name is Julian. Julian? All right, I told you his name, so time to make good on your part of the deal. Hurry up and leave that high-rise condo, all right? Rosina, what happened to you upholding your part of the deal? You said that you would leave if I told you your boyfriend's name, right? I have no idea what you would gain from that, but it's none of my business, I guess. I mean, I get it. Living in a high-rise condo like that must be extremely luxurious, so you don't want to leave, right? But you're my older sister, right? Don't you think it would set a bad example for me if you broke your promises like this? Mom and Dad would be disappointed in you if they saw you like this. But I am upholding my part of the deal. I said I would leave if the name of the person you were going out with was really my boyfriend, right? What? Are you an idiot? Shut up! Stop talking and just leave that high-rise condo already! I'm going to live in the penthouse on the highest floor with Julian from now on. I've already prepared to move, but you won't move out, so I can't move in yet. But my boyfriend's name isn't Julian, so I'm not going to leave. Huh? What even is that? You know, you should really stop trying to buy yourself time and just leave already. Do you seriously think I'd believe that? I mean, it's obvious that you came up with that lie right now. Fine, I'll ask you one more question. This high-rise condo you're telling me to move out of, where is it? Huh? You're asking me one of those stupid questions again. Seriously, are you just trying to annoy me or something? You really don't know when to give up, don't you? You're talking about our tower near our station, right? And the room you want to move into is room 5001 on the top floor? I couldn't bother to talk with you any longer, so I gave you the answers, but is this the room that you've been wanting to move into? Huh? What are you even trying to do? I mean, you're the one who's living there with Julian, so of course you know where it is. And I already know that as well because I went around asking everyone for your new address, even asking friends of yours. I gave it my all to find out where you live, so there's no way I'm mistaken. I see. So that's how you found out? By using distant relationships? Impressive, right? I even went to the high-rise condo myself once and entered by mingling among the people who live there. Oh, it was so luxurious. On top of being able to live in a place like that, you're living with Julian, who's rich and handsome, right? That's so unfair. I was always prettier than you, but for some reason, people always treated you better, even Mom and Dad. I'm not going to let you cheat me again, though. Give me that life of yours. I understand now. You must have received old information, which is why you've made this mistake. What do you mean I've made a mistake? You see, we sold room 5001 half a year ago. What? You sold it? It's true that he was the owner of that room before that, but he had to move to the countryside since now he's relocated at work. Thankfully, a branch office of the company I work at was also located there, and we've been going out on the basis of eventually getting married, so I decided to move there with him. There was a used room in a high-rise condo in this new town we were going to move into, so we sold room 5001 of our tower and bought this one instead. We've been living together ever since. Then who's Julian? I'm pretty sure he's the new owner of room 5001. Oh, I see. To be honest, I'm not surprised he wasn't actually your boyfriend, but I guess this is fine as well. It doesn't change the fact that he's still my boyfriend, and a rich and handsome one at that. I'll need to come up with another plan of kicking out his current girlfriend he's living with in room 5001, but it can't be helped, I guess. But I heard that his girlfriend was the owner of room 5001. What? Which means that he's the one who's going to be kicked out of that high-rise condo, not his girlfriend. By the way, I heard that the company Julian used to work at went bankrupt, and he's currently unemployed and looking for a job. He's unemployed? Are you being serious right now? Are you sure this isn't one of your lies again? Don't worry, you'll find out the truth for yourself soon enough. Huh? What's going to happen soon enough? You see, Julian's girlfriend, well, his fiancée to be exact, runs her own company. She's acquainted with my boyfriend through work, and I've met her myself before. To be honest, you're an embarrassment to our family, and I don't want to have anything to do with you. But I told Julian's fiancé about the relationship you two have been having behind her back. What? Hold on, you can't just do something like that. I hope you understand that this was the best course of action for me to put a stop to your selfish actions. Have you forgotten that you still haven't paid me that alimony I asked of you when you stole Leonardo from me? I'm not just going to let you go without paying it now that I've caught you. Huh? By the way, it looks like Julian's fiancé snuck a GPS on Julian 2 days earlier. Apparently you two are currently in your apartment making love since last night? What? She says that she's already surrounded you and you can't escape? What do you mean she's surrounded me? Just who is this fiancé of Julian's? It doesn't matter who she is to you anymore. After this, Julian's fiancé barged into Flavia's apartment. Apparently Julian's parents were also with her, and the place where Julian cheated on his fiancée turned into the stage of a huge scolding festival that went on until the sun rose on the next day. By the way, my parents had already moved to an apartment for elderly people, and they told me to make my sister take full responsibility for the situation. It seems that during all of this, Rosina tried running away to Leonardo, my former fiancé whom she stole from me. But it seems that Julian's fiancé had expected even this and was able to capture her almost immediately. I also told Leonardo's parents about what happened, and about how Leonardo no longer had a place to live after this incident. Anyways, my sister was recaptured and she was thrown into some office by Julian's fiancé, who had an extensive network of connections. It seems that she's forced to use almost all of her salary to pay off the alimony she needs to pay Julian's fiancé, and is on the verge of collapse, having to live a life of extreme poverty.
Abby, I remember you said something about seeing your dad soon. When is it again?
To visit a hospital? I was going to see him the day after tomorrow. Why?
I thought I'd tag along. I haven't been able to make time to see him in a long time.
Oh, it's so sweet of you. I think he would be very happy to see you. But I'm a bit surprised you'd suggest anything like that.
Why would you be? I do care for your father, in case you didn't know.
I know you do, honey. I'm very thankful that you do. But you have work that day, don't you? Are you going to take the day off?
My office is close to the hospital, so I will use my lunch break to come see him. I won't be able to stay that long, though.
Oh, that's not a problem. I will let him know and ask him to try to stay away around lunch.
Does he sleep a lot during the day now? Is his condition that bad?
Kind of. He sleeps most of the day recently. I haven't been able to speak to him much either because he is barely awake whenever I see him. I think it's because of what the doctor told me. It means he is losing his strength.
I see. I hope he gets better soon. My parents send their regards too.
Thank you.
Oh, one more thing. I have a favor to ask. Will you help me?
A favor? What is it?
I'd like to borrow some money from your dad, and I want to talk to him about it, but I don't want to be rude, so will you ask him with me?
What? Why do you need money? Did you do something?
No, it's not me. My parents have some sort of loan. I want to help them pay it off, but I don't have enough. But your dad has all his investments and all that, so I was wondering if he'd be able to help.
Luke, I don't think that's very appropriate. He is very ill right now. Now is not the time to talk about money.
I don't have any other options. The payment is due in a matter of days.
That's their problem. I'm sorry, but my father has nothing to do with it. If you really want to help them, I think it should be from us, not from my dad. If that's the case, I can help.
I wouldn't ask your dad if I could help them myself.
Is the loan that big? How much do they need?
I think about $30,000.
30 grand? I know your parents are big spenders. Did they splurge on something unplanned?
No, they wouldn't do that. What the hell do you take my parents for?
Well, I have my reasons to be suspicious of them. Anyway, you can't ask my dad. He is ill, for God's sake. Don't say anything ridiculous.
But Abby, they could get in real trouble.
Will you think about how my father would feel? He will be very sad to find out that you only paid him a visit to ask for money. Sorry, but it's a firm no.
Well then, I won't. But do you think you can when you think it's best? I mean, preferably as soon as possible.
Okay, we will discuss this another time. But I mean it when I say you can't ask him, or else you cannot visit him.
Fine.
Luke, what the hell was that? I told you not to.
I'm sorry, but you weren't helping. If you had asked in the first place, I wouldn't have today.
How dare you? And why the hell did your parents show up? You cornered my father. You shouldn't have brought them.
My parents are the ones who need the money. It's appropriate that they ask in person.
So you want to talk about manners? What do you think about cornering a bedridden man for money, huh? Have you no shame?
Like I said, we don't have any other option. And what's wrong with your dad? How can he be such a cheapskate when he has so much money? We asked politely.
Excuse me? You've got some nerve to complain. He refused to lend your parents any money because he couldn't understand why your parents need it. They were not clear about why they have such a big loan suddenly.
His family is in dire need. All he cared about was how many parents ended up like that, or if they even really had any loan to pay off. How rude can he be?
The only rude people in that room were you three. You guys stormed into his room and barely said hello before you started to talk about money. Yet, you can't even answer why you need it? Give us a break.
That's what I mean by cheapskate. A real man wouldn't ask and just hand out money to be needy. So stingy. My parents were so disappointed.
You're the one who is disappointing. I had been clear about not asking him. You broke that promise.
I did what was necessary to help my parents. But your dad refused to help them despite his wealth. I am so ashamed to call someone so selfish my father-in-law. I guess money couldn't buy him compassion.
You know what? We should get a divorce. Then you won't have to be related to him anymore.
Are you being serious?
I don't care if we do. What you did to my father is worth a divorce.
I won't take you back even if you regret it later. You understand that?
Oh, don't worry. I do. I will call my lawyer now and have him prepare the documents immediately. You should call your lawyer too.
Fine then. I will. I'll even sign the papers right away. Don't come back to me crying. Hello, Abby? You're still mad? When are you coming home?
I thought we were both ready to get a divorce. How can you act like this is all well?
Yeah, well, you know the whole divorce thing fell through. You agreed to hold it off afterwards.
I agreed to hold it off because my father was in critical condition and I didn't have time for you. I can sign the papers right now and go file it at court.
Don't be so cold. I got a little heated. You know, spur of the moment. You shouldn't have brought up a divorce in the first place.
Spur of the moment. You signed the papers before you even read them.
I wasn't thinking clearly. You know I love you. And I know you love me too. We would be such fools to let anger drive us towards a divorce.
Whatever, Luke. I'm busy right now. I don't know when my dad will worsen again. I agreed to hold it off, but I won't be returning home.
He's been fine for a couple of days now. Why don't you come home and relax for a bit?
The doctor warned me. He said his body could give in any time, so there's no relaxing for me right now.
Why can't you care for me a little, huh? I've been living off frozen pizza for days. I'm so sick of it. I don't get to eat anything decent when you're not home.
You really don't care about anyone else but yourself. My father is dying. Take care of your goddamn self.
Why should I care for him? He refused to help my parents. I'm not going to raise one finger for that cheapskate.
You are unbelievable. You should get some help. Really.
But it is all his fault. We asked so politely. By the way, don't bother to invite us to his funeral. We don't give a damn about him.
Seriously? You are still his son-in-law.
I married you, not him. He's not a real relative. He chose to be a stranger to us when he refused to lend us money.
How pathetic. He'd be so sad to hear all this.
I said I don't care. Anyway, come home already. I don't have all day to ask nicely, you know. You need to do what is required of a wife.
Oh my gosh, I have to go.
Huh? What is there to prioritize above your husband?
My dad is crashing again. I don't have time to talk to you. If you want to come, help yourself.
Hell no. Like I said, I won't be attending his funeral either. Just come home when things are over, okay? Good luck. Hey, Abby. How have you been? You must be tired from everything. From the funeral to cleaning up his house and all.
What do you want?
So feisty. You haven't been home in so long. I've been worried about you, you know? You handled everything on your own, right?
Yes, because the man I used to call my husband provided zero support. Nor did he show up to his father-in-law's funeral.
At least I told you beforehand that I wouldn't be attending. Anyway, glad everything is done and over with. So, when are you coming home? I really miss your cooking.
Funny. You are actually hilarious.
Come on, don't be so sarcastic. So is it true? Did your dad really leave you $100 million?
Where the hell did you get that from? You're not supposed to know.
Some of your relatives really like to gossip. But I mean, $100 million? We would have so much even after paying off my parents' loan. Should we buy a house?
We are not buying any house. We are divorced and not related anymore. I have nothing to do with your parents' loan. Please handle it yourself.
What are you talking about? We decided to hold off on that, remember? Stop playing around.
You mean you don't recall signing the papers? You know I kept the papers. It was up to me whether I file it or not.
What? I never agreed to anything. I told you it was all spur of the moment.
But you signed it, didn't you? You even said that you won't take me back. So I went ahead and countersigned the papers. I don't see what the problem is.
You can't still be mad at me, Abby. Is this about your dad? All right, I'm sorry. Don't hand the papers in, honey.
I told you. It's been filed already. In fact, they were filed the day after you said you are not attending my father's funeral. Everything is too late, Luke.
You better be joking. You just want the money to yourself. You will not get away with this.
Get away with what, exactly? Keeping what was bestowed to me? What makes you think you are entitled to anything of what my father left?
You will pay me consolation money. I'm sure you have enough. You'll also pay off my parents' loan.
You are so dumb, Luke. Why in the world would I do that? I do not have a single penny to spare you or your parents.
You filed the papers without me knowing? I never gave you permission to do that. You will pay for what you've done.
No, I will not. I have absolutely no fault. You should blame yourself for signing at the spur of the moment.
Then let's get married again. It's inevitable that the papers were filed, but we can redo our marriage. We still love each other. Our divorce is all a misunderstanding.
Nice try. But I will not be wasting another second on someone who thinks of my father as some sort of money tree. I wish someone would pay me for being your wife for this long, actually.
Don't push me away, Abby. I was only trying to help my parents. I was in a panic, you see? I wasn't myself.
Yes, I see.
You get it, right? Then let's get married again. We can enjoy ourselves for the rest of our lives with your dad's money.
I see that this is the true you, Luke. All along, you've been hiding who you really are. You only showed me your good side. I'm so glad that I see the real side now.
That's not what I mean. Why don't you understand? I need you in my life, Abby. Please don't leave me.
It's the money you need, not me. I will not be an exclusive ATM to you or your parents. Go figure out your own problem. I'm sure it will be difficult for someone as irresponsible as you to take care of your also irresponsible parents. But hey, good luck! I quickly deleted him from my smartphone after our last conversation. I really did have the divorce papers filed earlier. So I am glad to say that I have no relation to him now. I made several sneak visits to the house to pick up my stuff while Luke wasn't home, and also sold my father's property shortly after. I used what my father left me to move away and start a new life. So I don't think I will ever see Luke again. I heard from a common friend that Luke now lives with his parents. Their loan has become even bigger than it was before, because they keep spending money irresponsibly. Because of that, Luke now works day and night to help them pay it off. But I don't think it will ever end though. Unless his parents learn how to manage their finances. Luke should have realized that he needed to control his parents before asking anyone for money. But honestly, I couldn't care less how they end up.